I'm actually super curious. I'm reading YouTube comments a lot. I see you guys, I see you guys reading out there. I see you on Facebook. I want to see what you guys think should be changed here. For TLPH, do you think that was a good draft? Do you think it was just like a macro maneuver kind of thing that happened where it just felt like if I was on the receiving end of what FCAP did, I would be catching my breath because it felt like there was just fights happening every single minute.
That's what I love, though. Remember a time, Rockhart, when we were in a meta in seasons when it was just slow pace,
2 kills a game,
Lord dancing.
Right?
I would much rather have this. So, like, I'm still gonna say it. Even like I said with FCAP, the way that they kind of eventually dominated that game later on.
Yep.
Like, to see them all battle it out and have these skirmishes, these team fights break out early on and throughout the entirety of the game, that's great to see. So TLPH, how do they adjust from this? The last ban is going to be the Julian coming out from FCAP here on that red side with TLPH having this first pick. I don't know, man. Do they go the Rogers banned out? Do they go and pick up something that's going to give them that sureness, that confidence to go ahead and lock in the early game? Because that's what I say they kind of needed to fix from the last one, is locking in the early game for them. And there's a couple choices that they could pick up. Edith would have been great, but they're going to go with the high-low since it's open here.
Right. And honestly, I still have to maintain that. I feel like the Faramis was a missed opportunity, I think. That was great. Faramis there would have been a bit good. Maybe it could have allowed them to kind of tank into the late game and have Benny QD do more. He'd have 2 HP bars, he'd survive more. And same with the high loss. Maybe JP wouldn't have died as much, but then again, what's done is done. But maybe they can do that here. Although I'm not sure if it will go through. If they don't pick it up here, it might get banned out.
Do you think Benny QD should just go like a Mozkov here? Like just
or
pick
carry
up a regular marksman? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like that's where Benny QD has excelled. These are hero picks that actually allow him to do the split push, do what he's known for. And I feel like you got to go you got to do what you're good at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See if they go that right. That is going to be Hayabusa locked in here. That is not a Mozkov voice. It's going to be a Ruby being locked in. TLPH still playing with the fact that, 100% Ruby could still go in the good lane. You could put it in the XP lane. Just not sure if that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
But so far, the fact that they got the Hylos, they have a Hayabusa. It'll come down to an assassin matchup in the jungle. And we'll see if FCAP wants to go ahead and lock that in because, again, if they don't, there's probably going to be a couple more bans towards Kyle TZ. You already have a great kind of rounded out lineup, too, this early on. There's the Ling, like we were talking about. So
perfect.
Why not? This is also, I would say for TLPH, the number one point from last one was just make sure you have your damage profiles in check. It's at least this time around, they got the Hayabusa, and they can play around a little more sturdiness, I would say, or like we said earlier, vitality between the Ruby and this Hylos.
The vitality, huh?
The vitality.
Very foreign sounding word, but it just means you're tough.
You're tough.
You're tougher. You can go for longer. And that's exactly what I think should happen here for TLPH. I think they should play for a longer team fight. Because I feel like if you go for the bursty kind of team fights, FCAP's going to come out on top. I feel like they just excel in picking off people from the map one at a time. Who's that Yaoi? No, it was Super Yoshi.
Well, that's Mara.
Was that Yoshi? That there is Mara right there. As usual, really good with kids. Love Mara's getting into that.
Sometimes it's hard for me to spawn out players in the crowd, especially because I'm so used to seeing them in their jerseys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Same here. I feel like it's the same thing when we go out and we're wearing their jerseys. People can kind of notice us easier because, oh, is that MPL? Oh, is that Rahar? So that happens a lot to me.
For us, it's like the suit. Like
the suit. 100% the suit. But if you're like just wearing your normal shorts,
you're just in your
no one really like. What is that? You? They'll go like that.
I guess I kind of stick out.
You have no choice but to stick out, my good friend. That's just the that's just the boon of your
The
existence,
boon.
right?
I'm a 6'2" guy.
Yeah, guys.
Walking around. I'm a large human being, you know, and I just have this beard,
And
and so people just point me out, and I'm just like, oh wait, what?
Average Filipino height is like 5'7", 5'8",
Yeah.
at most 5'9", right? So can't help but stick out. But you know what's sticking out here?
The Eternal Guard.
The Eternal Guard is back, and the front line here for Falcons AP Brand is actually they don't mind. They don't really mind at all.
I'm saying
They're going full ham.
Yeah, their front line can be the Eternal Guard alongside the Edith if they want to. Obviously, they're still going to choose to pick up possibly one more, at least like, you know, durability hero here that they can work with. Aurora's on the flip side, so that covers the magic damage department already. We saw a lot of lockdowns happening with this hero previously throughout the week already. Now, last pick. Is it going to be a gold lane option? What is this? Oh,
There's
okay.
the Lunox.
We've seen this banned out.
We've seen it banned out twice today, and finally makes an appearance. Definitely going to be on gold lane. But you know what? You can also kind of swap out the Ruby and the Hylos for XP and Roam.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, for TLPH, so you're not 100% sure which one's going where. But definitely Hylos on Roam is better. But right now, what's the answer going to be here for if you're FCAP? I don't know, honestly.
Well, it sounds like it's Tigreal.
Tigreal, there it is. All right.
You know what? You getting chaos bolted in the face. Tigreal doesn't care.
Might as well. Might as well pick a hero that doesn't mind getting chaos bolted to the face.
He might get frozen too. But the main point with this for FCAP is, you know what, Ogwin, if he gets his setups with the implosion, great. If he doesn't, you still got an Edith, and you actually still have the knock-up too from the Eternal Guard usage. So that's why I think FCAP's like, you know what, we can possibly get some of the utility out from TLPH's lineup, but we still have, you know, option 2 and option 3 if we need to.
Yeah, gonna go for the wombo combo here. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty spicy here for Team Liquid PH as well. Having that gold lane Ruby here should definitely help out with damage that we were talking about earlier. But again, it's still magic, right? So let's see if FCAP can do it, or if TLPH can come out on top. Let's see what Leo and Ian thinks about this. We're heading game 2.
Wow! The fans in the venue are going wild for game number 2 again. Between the Clash of the Titans, Falcons AP Brand match point going up against TLPH.
The big guns come out, and by the big guns, I mean the Lunox.
The Lunox.
It was banned in a series, I believe, earlier today or yesterday.
Whoa!
The details kind of just blur together, but look at this Ogwin asserting himself between JP and Sanji. Interesting. TLPH adjusts based on what happened in game 1, and Falcons AP Bren, they're just keeping up the pace, because look at the damage that they're capable of early on.
Oh, the folks coming in from both of these teams, but Ogwin suffering the damage coming in from, oh, look at that. JP has to walk away here. Now, the interesting thing about these two teams is when push comes to shove, they manage to pick something out of the ordinary. Yesterday, it was Falcons AP Bren with the Lolita Hanabi. This time, it's TLPH with the Lunox. It's always the gold laners, Benny and Super Marco.
Yeah, look at this. Not just that, even the XP Ruby. We don't see that very often anymore. So with that adjustment, it looks like TLPH are really hedging on these theories, hedging on these principles that will allow for them to get a fast one over Falcons AP Bren, put us at sudden death. Let's talk about the gold lane matchup you already mentioned, the Lunox versus the Harith, Benny Cutie versus Super Marco. If anything, in theory, all right, in theory, isn't the Lunox more like a bulletproof hero? Wouldn't that be good on Marco?
Yeah, especially if you have the Brilliance ready to be expended, assuming there's also no catch coming in from the members of TLPH. But of course, like the usual games, no action will entail here in the gold lane as the Lutter spawns here at the top lane. Okay, a while ago, it was Flap, TZ, got the first turtle, I believe, in game number 1. Yeah, he stole one.
Yeah. Let's see if we can do it here.
Ogwin!
Coming in, the implosion by Ogwin and the knock up, the Tempest of Blades 2, popping Stanford real quick. The answer by JP, the glorious pathway. Ogwin falls. JP now taken out by Flap TZ. The turtle still standing down to a 10th of its health. Oh, the retribution by Kyle. TLPH walking away.
Falcons claim 2 bodies plus the turtle. And again, a heads-up play coming in from Ogwin with the implosion flicker play, catching 2 off guard. Now, TLPH, you're in the position right now that you don't want. Because again, you have a Lunox, you have a Hayabusa. Ideally, you'd really want to control the early game, especially if you have JP with the Hylos. But again, once it reaches the 9-minute mark, once Hylos has those tanky items, for sure, the tides could turn in favor of the cavalry.
For sure. JP intercepting Ogwin, now laying down a glorious pathway. Picture perfectly. This is one of the best angled glorious pathways I've seen in a while. If that happened during a team fight, that would have been a win for Team Liquid PH.
Honestly, I think it's more of an aesthetic, aesthetic kind of vibe.
No, even efficiency-wise, like you try to cross your way out and retreat underneath your turret, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and you can't cross. You can't cross walls with the second skill from Tigreal, by the way. So that's really an efficient glorious pathway. But again, the problem remains for TLPH. Again, FCAP establishing an early lead here. Kyle TC freely roaming here with the Ling, just like game number 1. But the good part is Carl TZ 1-0-0 with the Hayabusa. Compared to the Nolan game, he had a rough start.
Yep.
I believe he was 1-2-2. Early pickup of the Sky Piercer. So this time, TLPH can actually manage everything.
But that is in perspective, because look at what Kyle TZ is doing. His his map mobility, rotational speed is so much higher. He's at level 8. Now they have offended on the Flap TZ. Maybe force it out. I don't know. Primal Wrath. He's going 3v1. How long has he been going for this? Forcing out the Oogie Shadow kill and eventually falls down. What? That took what? Almost 10 seconds?
10 seconds and 3 ultimates from TLPH. But still, that was a worth it trade because they got a kill onto the XP laner. And as the turtle will spawn in 10 seconds, Falcons AP Bren a while ago, the reason why they got the first turtle was the mid-bush control. Ogwin was there, ready to expand the implosion plus the flicker play. And with the flicker available, they can actually do it again.
All right, luckily, Flap TZ has spawned in time to contest for the second turtle. Now they're deep into the pit. Mind you, Carl TZ already picked up his Hunter Strike, so he's playing with 2.
Again!
Explosion by Ogwin! And he push out the Sacred Hammer, down goes 40. JP laying down the glorious pathway. JP's in trouble. Tempest ablaze up by Kyle. Taking down 1. Carl TZ though in the chaos. Steals away the turtle, and now he goes in. Shadow kill here, serving up a kill. The Flap TZ, but he gets taken out on the way out by Kyle.
Whoa!
And now Sanji looking for a quick double. Not so fast, says FCAP. They get the second kill there, but TLPH gets a turtle.
Sanji almost got a major outplay over 2 members of Falcons AP Bren. But looking at what happened, Falcons got 3 kills plus. No, Carl TZ got the turtle.
He did.
But in this case, you can clearly see Ogwin is the main driving force of the Falcons. Again, the implosion flicker play. We were just mentioning that he could do it again. He literally did it again. This time connecting onto Sanji. But a good answer also from Sanji because the Frigid Glacier is like the signal for TLPH. So we can go in again. We can re-engage.
Yeah. So best believe once Sanji gets a couple more core items, it'll be worse for FCAP. It won't be so easily just because Ogwin found the angle.
Yeah.
They can go in. So now, I think it's a matter of TLPH biding their time. They have to understand that they can't keep forcing these engagements just because of the promise of a mid-game power spike. They have to still make it there.
Yeah, and Ogwin right now, 6 minutes in, picks up his Athena shield, so you can expect more aggressive plays coming in from the roamer of Falcons AP Bren, as they also have a 2.4k gold lead.
Oh,
look at this.
JP. All right, playing footsies. Jose, did you see that? Just off camera, pushed by Flap, the first turret.
First turret onto the top lane?
Yeah, they left him alone. Yeah, look. See? Now Carl has to deal with that.
Okay.
And bottom 2, look at this.
Another split push from Falcons AP Bren.
This is
wow.
The same, a little bit of a change again in pacing, but just story-wise, early to mid, FCAP has better map control. Earlier it was because of the low E, right?
Yeah.
Now it's because of just faster rotational speed.
Yeah, good wave management. Again, distractions made by the mid trio of Falcons AP, apart from Kyle TC, of course. He's the one split pushing. But okay, the last turtle has spawned 1 for 1. Kyle has 1, Carl has 1. This time, both teams can contest.
Pixel Brush checked in, it's free. Flap TZ walks in. A nuke by Sanji, clearing the presence. Small advantage for Team Liquid PH. Turtle slightly placed on their side. Oh, Gwen coming in, catches 1. It's just JP. Still looking for a good implosion. Turtle gets reset.
Okay, battle spell still available for both of these teams. It's a matter of who's gonna set first. Glorious Pathway is there.
And
Oh,
the implosion, the answer back plus the EG. Turtle gets taken down by Carl Deasy, but where's the damage? There it is on Ogwin. Serving up a kill to Benny Cutie. JP falls 1 for 1. Roamer for Rome. And now they back off.
Okay, for TLPH, that's a good sign. This time, no extra additional casualties with Carl TZ. Just making sure, keeping FCAP in check. Goes in alongside Sanford there. But again, looking at the trade, 1 for 1, Roamer for Roamer. Carl TZ securing it with a good retribution steal. And looking at the items right now.
Yeah, I got my eyes on Sanji. Check it out, man. His first big item is the glowing wand.
Yeah.
So he would rather punish Ogwin and Flap for, maybe pushing too much forward.
Yeah.
And then eventually he'll start building the big boy magic items.
And I actually saw that Benny Cutie on the other, but wait, again.
Oh, here we go. Sanji's in trouble. Drops the ult, but trades out for few first. 40's down. Kyle TZ gets a double. JP's up next. Tripping up on 5 members of FCAP. 3 for 1.
That was actually a good Frigid Glacier coming in from Sanji, but the problem is Falcons AP Bren. They have the mobility, they have the sustain, counter-attack always on point, and they're not yet done. As Kyle TZ working on the orange buff here of Carl TZ, not quite sure who got it.
He stole it away, I think.
He stole it away.
He stole it away, he stole it away, he stole it away now.
And now they're working on the middle lane turret here.
And they're able to push it.
Okay.
One more from the Ballista. Ooh!
One more. Literally one more.
Just one more. Uno mas.
Now Falcons AP Bren, 3.5k gold lead. So far, so good. They can out-sustain the Frigid Glacier. Even if Sanji places it right on target with 3 members, they can still outplay TLPH.
Definitely helps now that there's a winner count on few. And Marco, I think, just had to click the Purify once all game.
Yeah. Again, bulletproof. Shades of game number 3 yesterday where he has an Aegis with Hanabi, but I think...
Rarely had to press it.
I didn't even think that he pressed it once.
Talking about last night's game, we saw a lot of Blood Wings now on Benny Cutie. So he knows that he's a prime target as well. He knows that Kyle TZ might go for him.
Yeah. Right now, TLPH really looking for the momentum, really looking for an opening here. And again, Carl TZ with the last 2 neutral objective takedowns. Still believe he's confident enough to steal this away from Kyle TZ. But FCAP again has the high ground here onto the Lord Pit. Flap TZ zoning out the members of TLPH as they start things off with the Lord. But look at that position of Kyle TZ. The conceal play coming in from Ogwin. He has the flicker though.
Coming in. Spots him in that fence bush. And now 40 reclaiming back a little bit of ground for Team Liquid PH. Because of the whole Lord shuffle, Benny Cutie was able to take care of that long lane and then come back and join in.
Still managing the waves. Again, one of the best split pushers, backdoor enders of MLBB, Benny Cutie. He knows how to manage this, the lanes. So TLPH still confident enough that they can contest for this Lord. But again, Ogwin, they have the battle spells. 2 for 2 so far for the Roamer of Falcons AP Bren in terms of flicker implosion plays. And now, few Super Marco. This is the patient game again. The patience of both of these 2 teams in full display. The Land of Dawn is really quiet, Leo.
It's really quiet. The tension is building. And look at this. Because of how unsure both teams are of being able to take this major objective, they would rather play the bushes. Look at this. Look at this. Flap is crossing over.
But again, the advantage.
I mean, they know now at this point, you know?
But again, the advantage of the Ling. You can clearly see it.
And he can join in quickly. Look at this, the push!
Look at this, Kyle TZ again, working on the bottom lane.
Just one more turret out of the base. That's up top.
And that's up top. Falcons AB Bren still making the most out of the patient game.
2 mid still standing.
Okay. Still has an outer turret in the middle lane and also the top lane. But again, this is where Ogwin loves the position when he's the Tigreal. The mid lane brush. Again, he has the flicker. He has the implosion as Kyle TZ picks up a BOD.
Yes, it hurts. I mean, I'm just thinking about it. It hurts.
As the game progresses, Falcons AP Bren's lead just keeps on going and going, getting bigger. Now 4.5k.
Lord Shuffle engaged. JP and Flap TZ, the frontliners. Ogwin going for the conceal. Spotted by Sanford. Cancelled out. The implosion preemptively used. Flap TZ now at less than half health. Can he press the Primal Wrath? He's already in it. The Glorious Pathway. The retreat. Back aboard, says Team Liquid PH. As they play with the range. 40 and Sanji gotta be sent back home while FCAP stand their ground.
Oh, this is an opportunity for Falcons AP Brent to burst down the Lord. But again, Kyle TC working on the mind games, working on the macro. He wants someone from TLPH, specifically Benny Cutie, to work on the minions as they try to take this first Lord away.
It's not as free. It's not as free. Unless they know where Benny Cutie is, it's never free.
Okay, but he's going to work on first his purple buff.
Ooh, Carl just picked up the Malefic Roar, so he's about maybe a half step behind
Half a shadow.
Kyle now. But you know what? I can't say that because Kyle is at about 11, 12K.
Yeah.
Carl is barely past 8.
Yeah, but again, this is still Carl TC. And still go for the steal, but Ogwen!
And here we go. The Glorious Pathway let in, but look at the back line. Sending away Kyle TZ. Down goes 40 and JP. Not a single soul taken out of Falcons AP Bren. And this is a clear go signal for Falcons to secure the Lord.
A third consecutive flicker implosion play from Ogwen.
He is the inevitable.
Same spot, the Thanos of this game. A literal titan as they work on the middle lane turret. And now TLPH not looking good for the Cavalry.
There's not many factors that could have changed Ogwen's approach. Sure, you could dodge him via bushes. Sure, you could outnumber him. But at the end of the day, as long as the approach remains the same, you can't change the results. He was going to get away with it.
And amidst of it all, look at Super Marco's battle spell. Has yet to be pressed. Wow.
It's still deathless. It's still deathless. Same with Benny Cutie, though, so they can hold on to that. But up to what point? Up to what point can you say Benny not dying is a good thing? There's a Lord down bottom. He's going to crash into that inhibitor. Down to less than half health. TLPH is going to stare at their inhibitor get taken down.
Oh, JP!
And as well for one, JP! JP will be able to drop his ult, but will go down himself as Falcons AP Bren get their eyes onto the next objective here. The orange buff, the turret in mid. And now the purple. Oh no, they're going to start taking it away from Carl.
Oh, depriving Carl TZ, the young goat, of necessary resources to come back from this 9.5k gold deficit.
Much needed purple.
But look at Ogwen, what a heads-up play. As soon as the Glorious Pathway was casted, casting the implosion and making sure that the horse, the half-man, half-horse can't go away. But a concealed play coming in from Falcons.
Looking for the range. Let's go. It was just a feint, Egan. It was just a feint. They were forcing Team Liquid to respond, and best believe if TLPH did respond, that's maybe when Marco would have dropped the Purify, dropped his Almond Force, and danced.
But right now, TLPH really having a hard time. Okay, Falcons AP Brand with that concealed play was able to get down the inhibitor turret into the middle lane, leaving TLPH with one more turret. And looking at the turrets of Falcons AP Brand, they only lost one. And that's on the top lane.
Just one. I'm looking at the gold lead here, 10,000. Half of that is between Kyle and Carl. There's literally 2 economic classes between these 2 junglers right now.
Exactly.
5,000, that's like an item and a half for an assassin.
Item and a half lead for Falcons AP Brand. Looking at the KDAs, you're not going to wonder why. Still deathless for Marco, still deathless for Kyle TZ. And now TLPH, they still could turn things around. Again, they have Sanford with the Ruby. Not the usual role where you place in Ruby, the XP lane.
He has to build kind of tanky, which explains the dominant size.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think TLPH kind of lacking damage because Sanji has the Frigid Glacier. It's always connecting to 3, but for some reason, Falcons AP Brand, they're still able to sustain the damage given in by Falcons. But look at Ogwen.
Ogwen catches one, gets the flicker in, the Revitalize, and the Glorious Pathway. They take out his immortality, and down he goes. Now look at the back line. Kyle TZ, hero landing on the Benny Cutie. Down goes JP, the trade 1-for-1. Tempest blades up. Can 40 survive? The answer is no. Marco gets 2 kills. 2 kills for Ogwen, and they keep going. Carl TZ looking to wipe out, looking to do some cleanup. Down goes Marco. Down goes Few. Carl TZ gets 1. Benny Cutie traded out. 3 for 3. Now we have a game.
After 2 games, Super Marco has fallen down. 1 death for the bulletproof Marco. A good counterattack from TLPH. And as I was saying that I thought they lacked damage, as long as Sanji's Rigid Glacier connects to at least 3 members, there is still hope for the Cavalry. And looking at Carl TZ, even if it was deprived of the buffs, 4-1-4 still for the Hayabusa.
Wait. Look at this. Flap trying to stop Carl from shenanigans. Lord here down to attempt to tell the shadow kill by Flap. The Glorious Pathway. The Tempest of Blades. Oh no. Drop the shadows. Pop in Flap Tease's immortality. Does not have a primal wrath. The implosion by Ogwin. Forcing away the rest of TLPH as Kyle TZ able to Finch poise out. The Lord still stands.
A lot of battle spells expended as well as ultimates. No casualties whatsoever as we approach the 18-minute mark.
Woo!
And just like the countless series that these two teams have battled out, wow, 8-15, but for some reason TLPH is still in the ball game, and they're actually poised to contest for this Lord.
The cavalry keeps on coming. And look at this, JP's gonna dance. JP's gonna shuffle with Ogwin and Few. And for the first time in a while, look at this, 40 has control of the river bush. Pulls one on the Flap, popping him. After the glorious pathway. And now Ogwin with the answer call. He's down. The shutdown by Marco. The double kill. JP's down. 40 as well. In Kyle's eyes.
Benny.
Low. Benny gets 2. 3 for 2, the trade out. Where's Kyle going? Kyle can smell blood, but he's also pretty low himself. Sanji pushing him away from the walls. Nothing comes free, nothing comes close, nothing comes easy.
Crucial.
As Team Liquid PH get a winning trade.
Crucial brilliance play coming in from Benny Cutie as El Capitan Few try to chase after him. And this is TLPH. This is how they swept Falcons AP Brent, clinging on to every bit of hope that they have, and looking at the instant replay, a beautiful setup from Ogwin, but the problem is they weren't able to sustain Benny Cutie. Look at the patience of Benny Cutie. He literally waited for the skills to be expended before entering the clash.
Dude, that's his own version of the Benny Bomb with the Lunox. That's a Benny Bomb if ever I've seen one. A push forward burst of magic in your face.
And now the plan for Falcons AP Bren is to work on the macro game once again. Kyle TC making sure that there's a slow push ensuing here in the bottom lane.
Oh yeah.
3.5k gold lead. So far, the lead has been reduced. It shrank. It
Down
started.
to a third.
It was 10.6k a couple of minutes ago.
Exactly.
Now it's 3.5. Quick maths.
All right, so now we're approaching the 20-minute mark again, way past the average of what a Season 14 game would look like in MPL Philippines.
Yeah, this is an Omega game, a smart Omega game.
It's approaching that point, yes. This is the ultra late game now, and I think it's item perfection now. Because look, Few changed one of his items into a DG.
Okay. Now Ogwin again. Ogwin's positioning on the same brushes.
Woo!
Whereas Flicker Implosion plays always connects, but JP starts things off with a glorious pathway.
And there's the Lord skill knocking him up. Look at it, the Lord down to a fifth of his health.
Ogwin!
And there's a huge one from Sanji. And there's the ult from Kyle. Tempest of Blaze Lord still standing. Down goes Kyle. Down goes Ogwin. 2 free kills for Team Liquid PH as they score the Lord off of Sanji's cold hands.
Another frigid glacier play from the Aurora as they clear the minions from the middle lane and the bottom lane. You can hear the crowd in Green Sun Hotel making some noise. Because after a 10.6k gold lead, TLPH now on the driver's seat as they charge in the middle lane.
For the first time in 21 minutes, for the first time in this whole series, Team Liquid PH are in control. 3 men are going to defend from FCAP. They're missing Ogwin, they're missing Kyle, and TLPH are in their base.
7 seconds before Kyle TC and Ogwin shows up in a battlefield, but the problem remains for Falcons AP Bren. A Lord marching in the top. They have enhanced minions here. They have the setups. They could easily end this game and turn things around. JP goes in.
Glorious pathway set in the answer, the EG. The dance by Super Marco. Zaman Force underneath is tier 3 in the top lane. Down goes JP. Taken up by Flop and Few. Tempest Ablaze by Kyle. Dancing around. Winter Crown trigger by Sanji, but he gets taken out just as quickly. Carl Teasy and Benny call it quits. They're out of here. But FCAP have lost 2 inhibitors.
Look at the death timers in the lines of 4. Oh no, Falcons AP Bren, I think they're going to work on the bottom lane and then eventually try to get the top lane inhibitor turret. But look at the play from the Falcons AP Bren. The crowd in Green Sun Hotel, I wish I could give them my mic because everyone's screaming, even TLPH.
The Cavaliers and the Bees, ever as loud as they could be. All right, something tells me this last Lord could be it because FCAP, they're still missing 2. TLPH missing 3, and they're all gonna come off of death at about the same time.
Okay, Leo, your call is a Lord. My call is a wipeout. I think it's not gonna end up with a Lord kill here.
I mean, it's gonna happen at the Lord.
Yeah, at the Lord, yes,
Both
of
teams
course.
can't just turn a blind eye because a backdoor finish is just as possible for either. You're looking at Carl Teasy on the Hayabusa, and you're still looking at Benny Cutie. This man has pulled off backdoors all over the world.
Anything is possible with Betty Cutie.
Cambodia,
Where else?
Indonesia,
Malaysia.
anywhere and everywhere.
Wherever you want.
You gotta watch your base.
Oh no. This. What else would you expect? I mean, TLPH Falcons AP Brent. They've been duking it out for a majority of 2023 and 2024. Of course it's gonna reach the 23-minute mark, Leo. And now TLPH still has a 3.5k gold lead, this time not depriving Carl Teasy of the necessary buffs that they need.
You got everything he needs, man.
One inhibitor left for TLPH. All the outer turrets of Falcons AP Friend for the bottom lane are still there, but they still have one inhibitor turret.
They have a virgin bottom lane.
Yeah.
Just straight up nothing can touch it. And look, I understand because TLPH is trying to clear that too. Because again, working off of inevitability is important in a matchup like this.
Now for me, the question is it worth it for Ogwin to cast the implosion play first? Because Sanji always manages to counter-attack with a Frigid Glacier. What's the play here?
I would say find the counter play. TLPH will always try to look for initiative, will always look for the tempo.
Oh.
If you're FCAP, find the counter play.
Wait. I think there's a misclick because Sanford
flickered, yeah.
flickered in.
Sanford flickered. I'd love to see the player camera, but no, it looks like it's all according to plan. He seems fine.
Yeah, Falcons AP Brent, okay. They spotted out where Ogwen is hiding. So potential play coming in from behind is not possible anymore for Falcons AP Brent. Again, both of these teams will work the macro game again, trying to establish a slow push, try to make the opposing team react and be outnumbered coming in to this potentially last Lord. The stakes are high for both of these teams. Falcons AP Brent winning game number 1. They have the match point, and again, winning this game will give them a lot of confidence. These Titans, although we keep calling them Titans, they're still not on top of the leaderboards. So they need this win to establish themselves once again.
Kyle Teasy constantly working off of the long lane. This is tough for TLPH to respond to. It's not as easy for them to defend. And look at this, Kyle and Ogwin. The concealed play, taking control of these bushes. What are they thinking?
I think they want to go for a push. Again, Kyle Teasy has the necessary damage to bring down inhibitor turret up top.
Oh, wow, chest-like. Look at that, the stare down between JP and Flap.
Okay.
Neither of them are fighting, but they know that they're there.
Yeah, and they also have immortalities. They also have their kits here.
No, you move.
You move.
No, you move.
It's like you punch first.
No, you do. You move. See?
But I do agree with you that whoever punches first, I think will lose. But Kyle Teasy working on the top lane.
Oh,
Here, and
wow,
they
look
get
at
it.
that. It's possibly a free. Oh! Carl Teasy! Carl Teasy midair gets the shadow kill. Unpunished with impunity. That's goated.
What a goat move! Saves the inhibitor turret up top, evades the implosion of Ogwen, and now sets themselves up for a potential last Lord takedown.
And here we go, the glorious pathway set in. Winter Crow Fu by Flap Teasy. And they are playing with range. Check the long lane, Super Marco, Lord here down to a 1/5 of its health. Retribution for Carl Teasy, off of cooldown. Who's gonna take it? Check that long lane, eyes on Marco. Turtle, Lord standing, now down to a 1/10 of its health. And that is CC on the 40. What's 40 doing? Where's he going? He's letting them push back. And look at Sanji. Sanji's going for a backdoor himself. Down goes 40. Look at the Lord, scored by Carl. And they reset. The inhibitor up top finally falls.
Winter Crown play coming in from Sanji and manages to flicker out.
There's the ult. Ogwin gets caught by the tail end, and they let go.
The most crucial sacrificial play from Sanford. TLPH secures that Lord, but Falcons AP Brent, 5 members are still here. No potential split push play. Falcons AP Brent, they know that they have to defend first.
Jose,
the best offense for them is defense.
Jose, I gotta say, man, look at all the battle spells. 40 doesn't have one. 40's not even on the map. Sanji doesn't have one. It's a minute and a half before that goes off of cooldown. And look at FCAP. Ogwin's waiting about 20 seconds.
26 seconds to be exact. And the rest of the members of Falcons AP Brent all
Wait.
intact with their kits. And now they're trying to attempt a fast clear of the Lord here. Whew.
Can they? Look, Lord
I think
standing.
they can.
That's 40k. That's 40k HP.
Okay, Glorious Pathway will be casted here. TLPH as much as possible trying to delay that the Lord will be bursted down, but here comes Falcons AP Bren!
They're revitalized by JP, pushing back the rest of FCAP, and they stand their ground, and they're still going. The immortality's keeping him alive. He's burning, and he's gonna be calling back. Lord,
Cypher's alive.
barely standing, barely taken out, just like that. And now the lead gone. TLPH fought hard for that Lord, and now it's gone.
And all throughout that sequence, Kyle Teasy was working on the bottom lane, making sure that TLPH won't have any access for a potential backdoor play, won't have any access to their precious buffs.
That tier 1 down bottom reminds me of Rockhart.
Still standing
It's still here.
since the very first second of this game. Rockhart is still here.
It's still here. 30 minutes in, tier 1 down bottom, it's still here.
Leo, just please translate, but in Filipino, since season 1 ka pa, Rockhart.
He's been here since forever, and Kyle TZ made sure to take care of that. And Ingan, I gotta tell you, I think that is a master stroke. It's a stroke of genius from Kyle TZ, because no matter what TLPH do, no matter how risky they play, they always have to think the map is not on our side.
Yeah. And again, credits also to Owen for making sure that they get the pickoff. Because honestly, that was lost cause na for Falcons AP Brent prior to Carl TC securing the Lord. But with the kill onto Sanford and with the death timers reaching up to 60 seconds, they weren't able to utilize that Lord. Wow. And okay, battle spells are ready for Falcons AP Brent.
Okay.
24 seconds before the 4th Lord. Looks like it's still it's an equal ball game aside from the bottom lane.
No, I'll tell you, it's an equal ballgame because I'd say 3 out of 5 team fights TLPH can win.
Yeah.
So the only real thing that FCAP are playing off of is the macro game.
Macro game.
Because the Cavalry has figured out Ogwin. They know exactly how to deal with Rogue Ginonigo.
Yeah, honestly, they're not scared of the Flicker Implosion play. As long as Sanji is not caught up with the Implosion, they can always counter-attack with the Frigid Glacier. And again, JP still has the Glorious Pathway, so at any given moment, they could go for a charge, go for a kill. But again, it's a chess match between the Titans. It's not just a matter of who has faster hands. It's a matter of who has a better play, who has a better macro gameplay right now as we approach the 30-minute mark, Leo. Oh my gosh.
FCAP taking control of a majority of that Lord Pit. And that was close. That was close. Kyle TZ, that was close.
Patience game.
All right, so far no battle spells spent, no ults. And the map is, I'd say, mostly red up top and down bottom, but that's it. Now JP, spotted here by Marco. Let's go.
No room for errors here.
Purple for Carl. All right, see, it's still pretty 50-50.
And look at this, the Clash of Titans delivers. This game is officially the longest game of the season, beating Omega versus FCAP, 24 minutes game. FCAP again, every single time Falcons AP Brent plays, expected to go to the late game.
They put on a show. They put on a show. They're here for the people. In the MPL area, they're here for the people all around the world. That's why they're called the Titans of MLBB.
And I'm sure the fans are loving what they're seeing now. 31 minutes in, the kill scoreboard hasn't moved. Nothing has moved. No one's making a move. Everyone's displaying patience from these two Titans.
Whoa, look at this. Huge rotation. I don't think JP knows that there's 5 members of FCAP in the vicinity.
They could actually go for him.
It doesn't matter. He has Revitalize and
Immortality.
the Glorious Pathway and an Immortality. Sanford juggling here with the Blade armor, and now gets caught up by 1. And the Earth Shatter, looking for it. The Revitalize has been used, and nothing! JP stands tall. Nothing!
And just like that, 16-21, 32 minutes in.
Yeah.
4th Lord still here. Again, at this point, the veterancy will come into play. The maturity will come into play.
Across the board.
Yes, and most important,
Yeah.
4th Lord still here. Again, at this point, The veterancy will come into play. The maturity will come into play.
Across the board.
Yes, and most importantly, the mental fortitude of both of these teams.
The physical endurance.
The physical endurance.
Y'all ever played a 30-minute game of ML? Try doing it with millions watching.
Doing anything at 30 minutes is already exhausting regardless of what you're doing.
Talking about cardio, huh? I hate cardio.
I hate cardio.
But I love MLBB. I love these two teams play, and they
I
can
love
go
the Titans.
for a best of 5, a best of 7, anywhere around the world. And best believe I will be there. Flapped Easy, once again, checking range with JP off camera. Again, it's the same duo. Ogwin and Kyle, Kyle and Ogwin. Are we going to see the same thing from Carl? Like, he's just trying to assassinate.
They go, wait a minute, Glorious Pathway's already committed here.
Forcing out a flicker from Few.
Okay.
Major resource spent. Flap Easy with the onward and the Earth Shatter combo. Super Marco making sure that he doesn't overcommit. And we're back at neutral.
But the best part is for Falcons AP Bren, there's a huge minion wave there.
Fat wave.
Fat wave up top. And the best part is the Glorious Pathway was expended in exchange for Fuse Flicker. So Falcons AP Bren poised to get this Lord.
Let's see which goes off a cooldown first. JP just keeping tabs, watching all 5 members of FCAP trying to burst down this Lord. Lord currently at half health.
At this point, you can't hold this Lord for this long because eventually it's going to hurt.
It's going to hoit.
True damage every single second. And now Sanford!
And now answered back. I'm offended with the Glorious Pathway. Ogwin still alive. Zaman forced by Marco. TLPH playing with range, times out the massive ults. Kyle Easy trying to jump in on the Sanji. The answer, the Winter Crown. No one falls.
But the question is, will Falcons AP Bren burst down this Lord? I mean, looking at the map, the minions, they have control.
It's a hard resetting, and it's a hard reset.
Another hard reset. 2 members of Falcons AP Bren forced to TP back to regenerate, and again, nothing's happening. Stalemate, 34 minutes in.
It's like I'm in Madison Square Garden with the Bulls and the Lakers going 200 apiece in triple overtime.
Honestly, 12 minutes away from having a full-length NBA game. That's how long this game is right now, and you can still see the crowd from Green Sun Hotel. The 2 sides, but Flap Daisy goes in.
There it is, the answer to the Primal Wrath, to the Earth Shatter. JP dealing a lot of damage. And there's the old play. Sanji, look at Kyle from the back. Kyle easy play with range. JP popped by Marco. That's a member down for TLPH, the first in minutes.
Oh no, TLPH. I think they still have to contest here. 75 minutes before Daddy JP comes back.
They're down by numbers, they're down on the map. And look at Kyle, he's going to force the inevitable. How does TLPH clear the waves fast enough while keeping tabs on the Lord?
Someone needs to deal with Kyle Teasy, and it looks like it's going to be Carl Teasy. We might see a 1v1 between the 2 junglers.
And there it is, Tempest of Blade spent up already. And Kyle Teasy pops Carl's immortality.
Whoa!
And with the help of Marco and Few, take down the young goat. That's 3 members down. TLPH can't even think of going for the Lord as FCAP scores the 4th one.
And they're just delaying the inevitable. I think they don't even have to wait for the Lord. It's just for formality. After numerous series, it looks like Falcons AP Bren will get another win onto TLPH.
35 minutes in. Waves through top, mid, and bottom, and I'm offended from Sanford, and the ult from Sanji, Tempest of Blades from Kyle. This is going to be a sweep from Falcons AP Bren.
Even after 35, 36 minutes, the crowd still roaring on the top of their lungs with the excellence displayed by the 2 Titans.